guys, what's up? Today we're diving into the fiery depths with the revamped PHOVEUS. This chain-wielding nightmare has received a major overhaul, ready to unleash his fury on anyone foolish enough to cross his path. Let's break down the new PHOVEUS, from his skills to the optimal build and playstyle that'll have your enemies running in fear. First up, let's talk about his skills. Passive skill, Demonic Force. His next basic attack allows him to charge at a single enemy, knocking them back and dealing damage equal to 4% of the enemy's max HP. The enemy will gain a Sinner's Mark, which can be used for his ultimate. After the basic attack, PHOVEUS will also gain shield equal to 8% of his max HP. This skill has a 26 to 14 seconds of cooldown based on his ultimate level. Another feature of his passive is when an enemy hero blinks, dashes, or is displaced near PHOVEUS, the cooldown of his passive gets reduced by 20%, and the cooldown of his other skills are also reduced by 0.5 seconds. As you can see, my skill cooldowns are becoming shorter when an enemy is dashing. First skill, Demonic Impact. PHOVEUS slams his monolith to deal damage and slow enemies. If it hits an enemy, it will enter second phase, allowing you to use this skill again. The second phase will leave a Sinner's Mark on the enemy. Remember, only the second phase can leave a mark. Second skill, Dark Wave. PHOVEUS slams the ground, knocking enemies airborne and then slightly pulls them toward his direction. A Sinner's Mark will be placed on enemies that are hit. Ultimate, Infernal Pursuit. Whenever an enemy has a Sinner's Mark, PHOVEUS can use the skill to leap into the air and smash that enemy. This skill deals extra damage based on the enemy's 10% max HP at max level. Meanwhile, PHOVEUS will be healed based on his 6% lost HP. The best part is that the skill doesn't have a cooldown. That means as long as there's an enemy with a mark, you can continuously use the skill. Remember, you can only use your ultimate on enemies that you've placed marks with your passive, first skill, and second skill. If the enemy dashes in front of you, they will not receive any mark. Or if the enemy was displaced by your teammates, they will not receive a mark. Only PHOVEUS skills can place marks on the enemies. Even Flame Shot is not included. As you can see, the enemy didn't receive any mark. So what makes PHOVEUS strong with his skill sets? First up is his HP based damage. His passive and ultimate can deal damage based on the enemy's maximum HP. With this feature, he can go semi-tank build and still deal high damage. And if we look at his base damage, we can see that they are pretty high. Another factor is the spammable skills. Remember, his passive can shorten the cooldown of his other skills. Meanwhile, his first skill has a pretty short cooldown and it can be used twice. And lastly, his ultimate has 0 cooldown, so you're going to smash those skills buttons quite often when playing PHOVEUS. And the longer you stay in the battlefield, the more damage you can deal. Now let's check his build. Thunderbelt is good for his sustain and extra true damage. His passive, which is an enhanced basic attack, can easily activate Thunderbelt's stacking feature. War Axe is needed for spell vamp, true damage, and cooldown reduction. For a skill-based fighter like PHOVEUS, he definitely needs one. Brute Force Breastplate is next for more cooldown and improved movement speed, or you can replace it with Oracle to increase the shield and heal of his skills. After that, the rest are defensive items that will depend on your enemy's lineup. For the emblem, I'll go for Fighter using this talent build, Brave Smite for that extra heal. For the battle spell, it's either Vengeance or Flicker. I think a semi-tank build fits his game style because, like mentioned earlier, he has HP based damage. It means he can deal decent damage even without attack items. And the shield on his passive is also based on his maximum HP, so higher HP means a better shield. Additionally, PHOVEUS loves to be in the center of a teamfight, that's why increasing his durability is a must. And you can never know where he'll land with his ultimate, so he's gonna need sustain if he wants to survive. PHOVEUS' greatest weakness is probably his range. Enemies can easily poke him from a distance. Remember, he has no blink skill to close the gap. Another problem with PHOVEUS is his long windup. His combos can be a bit clunky, especially when fighting a fast-moving target. Most of the time, they can quickly dash away if you fail to place a mark. Now let's talk about combos. The goal is to always place a mark and then consume it using his ultimate. There are many ways to go through with this, but here's my favorite. It starts with using your first skill on a minion so that it enters the second phase. When the enemy is in range, use his passive to apply a mark, followed by his ultimate. Then first skill again plus ultimate. Next his second skill and ultimate again. After that, your first skill should be available again. However, as you've noticed, the skill combos are too slow. Normally, the enemy would have moved away by then, and that's one of his downsides that you'll have to live with. Starting his combo with his passive skill is recommended because you'd want the cooldown to begin early. Your passive cooldown should be reduced pretty fast, especially during team fights. And remember, his passive is the source of your shield. Using any penetration items like Divine Glaive or Malefic Roar is not recommended because he deals two kinds of damage. He has magic damage on his first and second, while physical on his ultimate. During team fights, you can aim at multiple targets with his second skill. It will place several marks, allowing you to use his ultimate several times. His first skill can also do this, but the range is a bit small. On the other hand, his passive skill can only place one mark at a time. So is Phoveus good enough in ranked games? Overall, I think Phoveus is a balanced hero who can be valuable against a certain team composition. He is good against melee heroes, but will probably play poorly against ranged ones. He has good damage and sustain in exchange for limited range and poor mobility. It can be challenging at first to learn his combos, but if you're the type who likes to dive in the middle of a fight, then Phoveus might be your guy. So how was your experience with this revamp? Is he balanced, weak, or overpowered? Share it in the comment section. That's all for this video. Stay safe and thank you for watching.